Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. Okay, so back on another animated movie, and for this one, it's another film from Dreamworks, and I like the film, but I don't say it's not one of the best ones though. But I do like the film overall. This is if I made like a top five favorite. Top five, I would not put it on there though. But overall, would it be my top 10? Maybe. But it's not one of my favorite ones though. But I still do like the film because it's another film. It's another one that's well animated, good voice cast overall. And this one I'm reviewing is Rise of the Guardians. And this one also I've been wanting to review for a while as well. Like I wanted to review this from a while back, but I had other reviews though. But now I'm finally getting the chance to. So Rise of the Guardians, and first of all, the title is to at first. When I first heard the title come out called Rise of the Guardians, I was like, "Oh, really? Immediately I thought it would be a sequel to Legend of the Guardians: The Owls of Ga'Hoole. That's what I first thought about it when I first saw the title. Before I didn't know what the film was about, though. But of course, when I found out how it was DreamWorks, so it can't be a sequel to Legend of the Guardians because that film is Warner Brothers. So that was how I was a tad bit disappointed that it was not a sequel because I still want a sequel to Legend of the Guardians, but sadly, still no talks about it. I have no idea why. Stating no talks with Zack Snyder coming back. To be honest, for the new Batman vs Superman coming out shortly. Instead of Zack Snyder directing that movie, I want to prefer him to direct another sequel to Legend of the Guardians. But now he directed Man of Steel. He's directing this film, Batman vs Superman. I think he was even attached to direct even Justice League. Yeah, so he's directed all these superhero films, and but no sequel to Legend of the Guardians, which is still my favorite film of his, and he did a really good job animated wise. But I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about Rise of the Guardians. So, different subject. But Rise of the Guardians, it came out in the year, basically Thanksgiving in 2012, and it was also the last film. This was the last DreamWorks animated film that was produced by Paramount Pictures before DreamWorks was signed over to 20th Century Fox. So after 2012, starting in 2013 came out the first one from 20th Century Fox is The Croods. So yeah, this was the last one that was released by Paramount Pictures before it was signed over to 20th Century Fox. I think 20th Century Fox had signed a 5-year contract deal for DreamWorks Animation. So it's gonna be. So I don't know what happens if the contract is up. Maybe we'll go back to Paramount. I think I have no idea though. But that was the deal though. But it came out during the Thanksgiving of 2012, November 21st to be exact, and the film did get positive reviews. It was even nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature, but it didn't win though. But and it was also it was now. Maybe people would disagree or it's a split thing because the film was technically a disappointment technically because it's been followed with a lot of around this kind of time. It's been following up a couple of a few DreamWorks Animations have been having a couple of disappointing films. Some money wise, like this film. And Turbo, and even Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Maybe I can also put The Penguins of Madagascar because the films have been all those films I mentioned haven't been that big of a hits than all the other previous DreamWorks animated films. So yeah, this one, especially this, had a very big budget of $145 million. Domestically in the U.S., it made 103. The overall total, it made it about 306. So, yeah, domestically, the film was a big flop, technically though, but it didn't also make much seas overwise, even combined total though. It was still technically a disappointment. What I consider like a big box office flop, technically. What I consider a big box office flop or bomb. For me, technically, yeah, because the film wasn't that big of a hit that people were expecting, you know. Especially with the concept of film like this, you think it would be a big hit, but no. But what were you gonna do about it though? But overall, I do like the film, but I don't think it's one of the best DreamWorks animated films though. But overall, I do like the film. Um, One of the things I has a good voice cast to it. Stars Chris Pine, which people from remember now. He's the new Captain Kirk in the Star Trek reboots. To be perfectly honest, I don't think he was perfectly honest. I don't think he's not that great as playing Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek, because I'm not a fan of the new Star Trek reboots films, starting from 2009, then from Beyond, Into Darkness. Now, I had no interest of seeing the new one, Beyond, and after looking at the trailer, wasn't interesting though. So, but yeah, I'm not. Even though I'm not a fan of him as Captain Kirk, I thought he did fine as playing Jack Frost. Um, Alec Baldwin as plays Santa Claus, which of course a lot of people were. Anytime people mention this film, automatically, especially of course when my brother, he automatically mentions, oh, Santa is Russian. You know, he speaks with a Russian accent. I was like, yeah, you know, I get it. I know it's probably the joke of it, but I don't think it's not that big of a joke, because that's probably the writers film made it that way though. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that joke though, because oh, he speaks Russian, he speaks with a Russian accent. You know, Santa Claus is Russian. Even other times he speaks Russian in the film. So yeah, that joke, I don't think that was not that funny, but of course a lot of people probably think it is. Even my brother thinks it's pretty funny. But yeah, Alec Baldwin, I think he does fine as Santa Claus though. Even trying to do a fake Russian accent. Hugh Jackman, of course, Wolverine. He plays as the Easter Bunny. Of course, it taught him talking with his real Australian accent. I thought he was fine with him speaking with his real Australian accent. You know, good eye, mate, and stuff like that. I would think it's Aya or Elsa. No, it's Aya. I think it's Aya Fisher. Aya Fisher voices the Tooth Fairy. And Jude Law, who voices Pitch Black, aka the Boogeyman. So overall, very good solid cast, voice cast. Basically what the story is that it opens up with Jack Frost. Sorry. It opens up with Jack Frost in the middle, like sinking in the middle of the water because he fell through ice, and he has no memory of his past life, and the moon, or is it called Man on the Moon, has chosen him. Because it's like 300 years later, he's been chosen to be the next Guardian. And so he has all the ice powers, because that's what Jack Frost is. So it's then fast forward to 300 years later, you see all the icons, Santa, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy doing their usual thing, holiday wise. Well, except the Tooth Fairy, taking the tooths out of the pillows, leaving money behind. Sandman making kids happy dreams. But because I guess everyone believes in them, that's how they keep their magic alive. If no one believes in them, then they become weak. At this point, nobody believes in Jack Frost. Nobody believes that he exists, even though it's only like Jack Frost nipping at your nose, whatever that expression is. That's what it is that people don't believe in because, well, there's this one kid who named Jamie who totally believes in all these except for Jack Frost. He says, "Who's Jack Frost?" And his mother says, "It's just an expression." Even though he's been making all these, making all these fun ice activities like creating snowballs and making them throw at people, though they still don't believe in him. And back at the North Pole, Santa Claus, he senses because there's this black sand because hence the fear. This the boogeyman is around. Jude Law voices him, so he summons all the other ones. Beaster Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Sandman, whoever. That there's gonna be trouble because it's because of pitch black. That's basically his real name. And they said the moon. They said the moon has chosen a new guardian. That is Jack Frost, and they know who Jack Frost is. They know who he is. So, but he says even the Easter Bunny thinks he's troublesome, makes a lot of messes and stuff. Santa's workers, which are technically the Yetis, which there are some small elves, but technically it's mostly the Yetis who are the toy workers. They take Jack Frost, bring him back to Santa's place. They were going to make him swear in the oath, to be the new guardian, but first Jack Frost, he refuses though, but to tell him that about the whole thing, and then they send something that's bad that back at the Tooth Fairy's place, and they take the sleigh, and like the Easter Bunny, he prefers to go to his own tunnels, but he's afraid going on Santa's sleigh. It's like, oh, where's the seatbelts? He's like, Santa makes this like, oh, nice expression or something like that, and as a writing, Jack Frost makes him seem like he fell out, but Jack Frost says, "Oh, you really do care." So they head back. So they go to this Tooth Fairy's place using one of those magical snowballs to teleport from one place to another. And they say that there's a bunch of these black sand horses that's taking the little Tooth Fairies, and even taking stealing the children's teeth because it's not just the teeth they're stealing because it contains memories, of childhood memories. And then Pitch Black shows himself, tells him the reason why he's doing all this because he wants to be believed. He hasn't been believed in for a long time, since the Dark Ages, because he used to cause fear to everybody. But until they came along, nobody believes in him anymore. So now is his time to rise up and cause fear to everyone to start making people believe in him again. And that's one thing that Jack Frost is. He's not believed, but he wants to be believed in. So he disappears, and Tooth Fairy's powers start weakening, but they all come up with a plan that they'll start delivering, taking the teeth themselves. So they go from place to place all over the world, taking teeth, and even have a little fun back and forth, playing, it makes it like a competition. They try to steal teeth while one's trying to get ahead of one another. Like when I thought what was funny, as Santa Claus is about to go down the chimney, the Easter Bunny lights a fireplace saying ho ho ho. So they started collecting as much teeth as they can, which for me it's like, okay, that's like really coincidentally like all in one night. Like all these people have all these kids, all these children have all a bunch of loose teeth under their pillows in one night, and they has huge bagfuls of them. I was like, really? That's like coincidence. That's like a big coincidence. Have all these children have, losing teeth on the exact same night to put under the pillow. I mean, to me, that's kind of a big stretch, because yeah, it's really on that one particular on this one night that children happen to lose their teeth and to put under the pillows that night. I mean, they all have bags, like thousands of them, and it's like thousands of children. Like, I was like, okay, that's kind of a big stretch and stuff. Um, and like they have like pitch black, even at Santa's place. So there is this globe of the earth and all these bright lights indicating that's their children that still believe in them. And now, Pitch Black has now taken another part of the plan to take out Sandman. Like when they when they sneak into Jamie's room, the one who mostly believes in all of them. Jamie sees them because they make noise, but he still doesn't see Jack Frost, so he still doesn't believe in him. And Easter Bunny gets spooked by his dog. Sandman tries to put to sleep, actually putting all of them to sleep except for him and Jack Frost. And they see Pitch Black, and they go out and they start fighting, fighting all of these dark horses. And it comes to the point. One thing leads to another. It comes to the point where Sandman is fighting, but Pitch Black fires a fear arrow or whatever, and it hits Sandman, and it's making him start turning all black, until he vanishes or disintegrate. I don't know what happened. Now just poof, he's gone. And they all mourn for him, but they won't let it go in bed because Easter is like the next day, so they plan to make more children to believe in them. So they go to the Easter Bunny's place, and as soon as they get there, Jamie's little sister, because when they all got asleep, Jamie's sister, Sophie, I think was the girl's name. She got her hands on one of Santa's magical snow globe and got teleported to the Easter Bunny's place. So they tried to cheer up, with the little girl, like the Tooth Fairy's what was it? She's like handing her teeth and with blood and gum, something like that. And Jack Frost is like, when was the last time you played with a child? And Santa Claus is like, well, we don't have time to play with children. We've been spending time working and giving joy to everybody. But of course, they don't know because Jack Frost is the one who's been playing with all the other ones, so he's the one who understands they haven't yet played with the children. So, Jack Frost makes a little snowflake and hits it on Easter Bunny, make him, have fun with the kid and stuff. Shows how all these blank Easter eggs, coloring and such. But Jack Frost, he wants to take Sophia back home, but they said they need to stay here in case Pitch Black comes around. But he says he'll be quick, and but as soon as he brings her back home, he starts hearing a voice calling his name, Jack, Jack, and it leads to this frozen lake that has this wooden bed spread, whatever, and it goes down the hole, and it's Pitch Black's lair, and he finds all the little fairies that's been caged up, and including all the piles of the teeth has been stolen, and Pitch Black starts telling him, he wants to, feels like no one wants to believe him, and even has in his hand, he wants to give him Jack Frost's memories, because the memories that he had before he became Jack Frost. So, but all he's been doing is been stalling, and says, I haven't done anything, and says, oh yeah, you've done something, alright. And he goes back, and the Easter Bunny's place has been trashed, and nobody's believing in this Easter Bunny, and they go and the kids just walk right through the Easter Bunny. He's not been believed anymore, and they all get upset over that, over at him, because he cared more about getting his memories and then trying to make children believe in them. So he leaves he's on a frozen mountain, talking with Pitch again, starting a fight again. Says that even tells Jack that he wants to have him join him, so they can both be believed together. But Jack Frost doesn't like that, saying, "Oh no, they'll fear us." But the Pitch Black threatens Jack Frost because he still has the one last little tooth fairy that he had that was with him. He threatens, destroy whatever, holding it tightly in his hand to give him his staff that gives him his powers. So he does, but he lies. He breaks the staff, throws him down this trench, and while he's sitting there, he still had the hears the voice again calling his name. So he opens up the I don't know what it is, the cylinder or whatever that contained the teeth, and he opens it up and shows the memories that he had, the life before he had. Shows that he had a family, he had a little sister. He was going to take his sister out ice skating, but then, as he's teaching him to skate, then the ice collapses and he falls down the hole, hence the moon choosing him to be, Jack Frost, So he remembers, and he puts his broken staff back together. He has his powers back, and he goes to see because all the other kids stop believing except for one. For one kid that still believes him. Of course, that's Jamie. So he goes to see him. He makes a little ice bunny, makes it snow in his room, and then that's when Jamie says Jack Frost's name, and he finally sees him. So then all the rest come back, but they're all very weak. Their powers are gone. Like Tooth Fairy cannot fly no more, and Santa, he's like old and and weak, and Easter Bunny, he's a big bunny, but since now nobody believes him, he's now turned into this real cute little fluffy bunny. Then Pitch Black shows up again, try and gets him cornered, but then what is part what happened next? They start Jack Frost has a little short battle, but the kid says he's not afraid though, but he goes and gets the rest of his friends, and Pitch Black has all these huge wave of blackness coming towards them, and the kid Jamie says, I do believe in the boogeyman, but we're no longer afraid of you. And as soon as the black sand approaches, they reach out and turns all the black sand back into golden sand, and as they're all fighting the darkness, as I call it, the darkness. I'll just call it the darkness. All this brings back Sandman. He gets brought back because children believe in him again. Oh, they show no longer fear of the boogeyman, so he gets brought back. Sandman gives him a big sucker punch, or upper right punch up. So everyone starts believing that they believe in them again, and they get their powers back. They start having a snowball fight, and that's when Jack Frost, because in the beginning he talks with Santa saying, "You need to find your center. What is your true power? What do you have?" And when Santa told his center, because his eyes are filled with wonder, he found out that Jack Frost found out that his center is just having fun. That's his center. So everyone's having fun, throwing snowball fights and stuff. And then Boogeyman, or Pitch Black, he's not being believed anymore. They go right through him. and now he's scared. He runs away. Back on the frozen lake, Tooth Fairy gives him a quarter, then knocks out one of his teeth. And there's these black horses or sand horses, whatever. Thinking this, at first he thinks that's their fear, but it's his own fear. So they surround him, they drag him back down to his hole where he belongs. And now Santa Claus tells Jack gives him the oath to become a guardian that the moon chose him for. He says yes. And then Jamie says him and Jack Frost, they say their goodbyes to each other, and as they fly off. But he tells them, no, don't stop believing. The whole thing. So overall, Rise of the Guardians. Overall, I do like the film, but I don't think it's not one of my favorite ones though. But overall, I do like the movie. It's definitely not one of my favorite ones though. But it's another well-made animated film. How, like how with Jack Frost's powers, how he makes the snow, how he makes the frost. That kind of looks like it's like how the way the frost looks when he makes it. I guess it kind of makes it like a flower petal or something. Basically, I try to. It makes it look like it's like flower petals though, but I was like explain how the way when he makes the frost, how the way it looks, like that, and other stuff with well animated, how the sand and creating all the dreams, like animals or whatever. Overall, it is another well-made animated film. The voice cast, I thought they worked fine as well. Chris Pine, Alec Baldwin, Hugh Jackman, which I enjoyed. Aya Fisher, Jude Law. I think it did a good job as Pitch Black or the Boogeyman, which name you want to call it. Like I said, I thought it was fine with Hugh Jackman using his real Australian accent. I thought I was fine with that. Chris Pine, I think overall he was fine as Jack Frost. The whole voice cast was fine. Of course, like I said, people say, "Oh, Santa Claus is Russian." Yeah, I know. I get the joke. Okay, I don't think the joke is not that funny. So that's how the makers and the writers made it that way. Because even he has tattoos on his forearms, naughty and nice. So I don't think that joke is not that funny though. But even my brother, he thinks it's hilarious. For features, as Dreamers and Believers, Sandy's Dream Guide, Filmmaker's Commentary. Not much, though, but commentary, decent. Has positive reviews in the back here. It says, the perfect family movie, dazzling, wondrous, epic, timeless, action-packed. So, the word dazzling I can understand, because how the way they use like the magic and stuff like Sandman's powers or Jack Frost's powers, or Pitch Black's, the sand stuff, The animation, I would say, okay, dazzling. I can understand that word. So, Sandman also doesn't have Sandman. One thing I had to say about Sandman, he doesn't speak at all, so there is no voice actor. The film is on for about yeah, just comparing if it's the timing of the thing is right. Yeah, it's on for 97 minutes. It's not that long of a movie. It's decently paced, I would say. It's not slow. The film does have a 74% Rotten Tomatoes, has a 7.3 on IMDb, which that's pretty fair enough. But I've seen there's better DreamWorks animation films I love more. How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2, Monsters vs. Aliens, Shrek, the Shrek 1 and 2 mainly, or even Puss in Boots. or even the Madagascar films. But overall, I do like the film. It's not one of my favorites though. It's not one of the best ones I've seen though. But overall, I do like the movie. And like you say, with the film, I would say technically the film is a big flop to me because from how the film performed, even though worldwide it made like 306 million worldwide though, but it's technically a flop because it was not that big of a hit that people were expecting to be. I mean, a huge budget of 145 million. That's like mainly like the rough round budget for some animated movies like Mr. Peabody and Sherman and How to Train Your Dragon 2 and such. But 103 million domestically, wasn't probably some people weren't expecting for this film though. They expected more because of the concept of the movie though. But yeah, technically I would, but definitely, well, I would say disappointment basically. Instead of big box office bomb, I would basically said box office disappointment. Because the thing because the film they said it didn't do that well. They think they had to write like a hand down. For what I understand, let me just see here. Well, the film did a gross more than its 145 million dollar budget worldwide. It still did not turn a profit for DreamWorks Animation due to its high production and marketing costs, forcing the studio to take a 83 million write down. Yeah. And it's also said that it's the first time marks the first time that the studio had lost money on the animated film since Sinbad: Legend of the Seven Seas. And it's also its opening weekend during the Thanksgiving weekend. It debuted number 4, which makes its opening weekend like the lowest for a DreamWorks animation film since Flushed Away. So yeah, which Flushed Away. That one is technically a big box office flop. Not a disappointment though, a big box office flop. So yeah. So the film did score low ratings of box office overall though. And like the same thing with Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which is also disappointing. They also had to write a hand down because the film didn't perform that well. It's like the same thing, and also the same thing with Turbo as well. Hey, no. Well, of course, unlike DreamWorks, I don't know, Disney Pixar, which they had their first box office disappointment. That was The Good Dinosaur. So it finally shows that Pixar is not perfect after all. After a huge slew of huge hits for Pixar that came from Pixar, they finally got their first box office flop, and that was The Good Dinosaur. Even though I like that movie though, but it didn't perform well. So that was a huge loss for the first huge loss for Pixar for the first time. It finally shows that Pixar is not untouchable. They finally had their first loss, while DreamWorks has their fair share of disappointments. This was one of them. So overall, I still like the movie. Not one of my favorites though, but I still like the movie. I thought that was kind of nice for the concept to bring these icons together. And like I said, this was the last film that's before 20th Century Fox took over, and this is the last one that was released from Paramount Pictures. But overall, I do like the movie. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's definitely there. So anyway, that's my review for that. For Rise of the Guardians, the cast were good. Overall, I do like the film. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.